Alrighty, we are back looking at cryptocurrencies currently, back where we thrive here in the crypto sphere. We're checking in on XLM, and then we will jump over to the crypto market. At the moment, we are consolidating at resistance still. In our previous analysis video, you were suggested to reduce your 20% support-based investment ratio, which you were suggested to invest back throughout the end of June there, when technical support at 11 cents was confirmed. 0.1185 is the key level of previous support, now confirmed as resistance, and you were suggested to reduce that ratio upon the sort of nearest price to that level, and you were able to exit at nearly a break even as the July 8th daily candle reached a high of 0.1184. My level is 0.1185, and so if support is found at that level moving forward, you can reconsider investing that support-based ratio. However, if resistance continues and bearish robos remain, 8 cents down below is where you can look for support confirmations. 50% of your XLM investment can be invested when 2 of our chosen 3 robo advisors return to a bullish state, which has treated us very nicely over the last year here. So far, bearish robos have saved us from losing over 50% of our investment, and so right now we are just patiently waiting for the return of more bullish parameters. So far, we are being harassed by this segmented down trend line of resistance here. You can more comfortably invest that remaining 30% of your XLM investment once we find ourselves above this solid downtrend line, as this would encompass a much broader downtrend in play over the short to midterm here. It would appear any sort of upward price action would be met with significant resistance overhead at 17.5 cents in addition to that downtrend line. Though breaking this local segmented downtrend line would perhaps suggest a more shorter term upswing to that aforementioned overhead resistance, though it would all be price action within a sideways range, perhaps closer till the September, October-ish of this year, where we may get a true break from this downtrend line here. But we have to go with the flow of crypto and watch out for EngineeringRobo. Alrighty, the crypto market in the green, it would appear. Upside is to be seen. Bitcoin has found itself above a $400 billion market cap. That is nice to see. Remember when it was over $1 trillion? Those were the days. Lol. Ethereum has found itself up 12% over the last 7 days, down 2.5% today though. Interesting price action moving forward. Consolidation occurring, accumulation continuing. It would appear rules and regulation are plaguing the crypto market as we try to decide what is or isn't a security. Lots going on with the legalities behind it, but once a regulatory framework is in play, we will get that institutional support that we need to return to those euphoric highs we have recently came from. Plenty of green to be seen over the past week, though some coins here are between 1 to 4% in the red today. A modest pullback as, any uptrend requires downside and vice versa. Some projects, though, experiencing more than 20% in upside over the last week. Avalanche here more than 21%, Polygon 20.25%. And other projects here still experiencing 8 to 12% in upside over the last week, with ICP up more than 27%. So I do believe that there will be some upward price action here, an opportunity to exit your positions if you've been holding on to these coins dramatically, waiting for the bottom to form. Perhaps a rebound off of significant support forming can allow some strategic exits here for many, perhaps bag holders as well. Aave and Quant. Aave up more than 42% this week. Quant more than 60% this week, 20% in the day. These are prime opportunities to be perhaps considering exiting your positions, because in my opinion, continued sideways is to be considered until other confirmations suggest otherwise. Looking at Ethereum so far, in a bit of a range as well, technically closer to resistance overhead. 1,298 is still waiting to give us a hard time. Wait for that to be confirmed as support. We have a bunch of levels here to consider. Down below, we have a rather nice interaction with my 910 horizontal level. We printed a low of 881. That perhaps could be the bottom. I do believe we will likely return either to or interact toward that level before a bottom is confirmed near these prices. I do believe further interaction with all of these key levels is necessary before we can be considering investing that 20% support-based investment ratio. Right now, it would be rather high risk. We do have all of our Robo advisors bearish at the moment, which has saved us from technically it would appear 70% in downside so far ever since the middle of April of this year. So we have to go with the flow of crypto, invest 20% at support, as I mentioned, 50% when two of our chosen three robos become bullish again, which has allowed us to see 141, 79, and 36% in gains ever since April of 2021. And bearish robos have saved us from some dramatic downside as well. That remaining 30% though can be more comfortably invested when we are free from this solid downtrend line, which will be extended as necessary. Bitcoin continuing to interact with my levels as well. We found ourselves back at resistance present near $21,815 per Bitcoin. Watch out for a break of that level and confirmation of it as support. Perhaps an interaction downward toward lower levels here. 2018 all-time highs 19,798 or my horizontal level 18,860. Right now we are trapped within a range under the influence of bearish robos ever since the middle of April of last year, so we cannot get too excited for this sort of like move upward that we've experienced over the last week. If you were able to capitalize on it, congratulations. At the moment, getting in at current levels would be very high risk, and you would not want to get caught in a bull trap. So wait for further support confirmations for us to invest that 20% investment ratio. Allow for a second Robo advisor to enter a bullish state for us to consider investing that 50% EngineeringRobo based investment ratio. This current early bird in play is technically still valid at the moment, whereas this previous one back in May is not. If we get a second Robo advisor bullish, then we can perhaps consider more comfortable upside in the sort of short to midterm here, though we will consider significant resistance overhead in addition to this descending trend line. Once we are free from it, we can invest that remaining 30% investment ratio. The fear and FOMO zones here still suggesting this is a time for accumulation pretty much between current prices and $38,000 per Bitcoin, as right now we are in a time of extreme fear. Accumulating heavily discounted Bitcoin is highly recommended. Right now, finding ourselves back above 2018, 2017 all-time highs is nice to see. Further solidification of that level as support, though, is necessary. At the moment, the 45% in downside that has occurred in our most recent two previous fear zone interactions has played out. Though we are potentially considering the 84% correction that is not impossible coming from most recent all-time highs. If we were to consider 2017 all-time highs, 84% in downside did play out before we solidified a bottom and broke those all-time highs more recently. So we'll have to just go with the flow during this uncertain time here in the crypto sphere, but you are to accumulate during times of extreme fear and go, oh no, when Robo says there's FOMO. FOMO zone waits there overhead. $191,000 per Bitcoin is where you can more comfortably consider getting out of the market where a top may be forming. Right now, this is far closer to a bottom, in my opinion, though we go with the flow of the confirmations. But I'm going to leave you with an article that talks about a Lamborghini-backed GT racing team intending to authenticate car parts using NFTs. With a quote reading, "We believe that NFT utility can help create more trust and transparency for brands and their fans leads me to believe that there is still a bullish outlook longer term for the technology at hand. The blockchain is far too potent to be ignored. The economy is changing. The traditional world of finance is failing. Monopoly money only gets you so far. So colorful rectangles will have to be converted into digital tokens at some point here, though a regulatory framework is still pending. Let me know down below your thoughts on Bitcoin and crypto and suggest anything you'd like to see in the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.